manifestation is not showing up. Even though you visualize, do affirmations, stare at your vision boards for minutes, nothing seems to change. Many people think that they need to learn more, they need to visualize more, they need to do affirmations more, and they keep watching daily content on manifestation that keeps them hooked to the faith of someday changing their lives. Now, the problem is that in your own conscious thinking lies a phenomenon that's ruining all your manifestations. And that's friction between your own thoughts. That comes from a wrong perception of yourself in relation to your desired manifestations. And the more you try to manifest without fixing this root cause, the more you just manifest the same thing you've always manifested, and the more you reinforce the person who you are. Now, by the end of this video, you will understand why your manifestations aren't showing up and how to fix it. Now, let's get into it. When we talk about manifestation, we need to understand what manifestation actually is. So, manifestation basically is the principle of cause and effect applied to your life. If you want a certain effect in your life that you don't currently have, that means that you currently are not the cause of that effect. So you have to change who you are, so you become the cause of that effect. That's what they mean when they say raise your frequency. You're not going to attract magically all the effects you want. You're going to become the kind of person that just by existing and being that kind of person generates those effects. They make it sound easy, and it's quite easy, but you will have to work, you will have to be disciplined, and you will have to do all the things that are required in order to accomplish the project you want. There's no shortcuts. What we can actually do is make of yourself a person that works like crazy and is extremely smart, extremely confident, and works until that person makes it. Reality is an infinite phenomenon. And our brains are not cognitively skilled to interpret reality in one single instant. It has infinite variables which are dynamic, and we cannot even receive all the inputs that we need from those variables, because we have senses that helps us get information from reality. And we use that information to create a simplification of reality inside our brains. Our brains build a model of reality. That's a simplification that we can use to design our behavior and be successful. Because if you don't know how reality works, you cannot design a behavior that has high chances of success, right? I mean, if you don't know how to socialize, if you don't know how other human beings are, if you don't know your friends, if you don't know yourself, if you don't know how to walk, you can literally do nothing. So you need to create a model of reality because you cannot interpret the whole phenomenon because it's infinite. And the main thing here is that your model of reality will literally shape the way you live, the way you interpret. Everything you consider is positive, negative, or happy, or sad, or good, or evil. All of that is a belief that comes from your model of reality. It's not true or false, it's just your model of reality. How does your brain create a model of reality? Well, your brain basically stores memories that consider will be useful in the future. So if you socialize, if you work, if you run, if you, cook, your brain thinks that those experiences will be useful in the future, so it creates a memory. And from those memories, your brain makes an interpretation, and that is your belief system. Everything you believe is true about reality is your belief system. So, as I said earlier, everything you think is positive or possible or negative or happy, all of that is just a set of memories and beliefs inside your brain. Your attempts to manifest are filtered through this model. It doesn't matter if you visualize, you do affirmations, or any technique, this model will keep being run in the background of your mind. It doesn't matter how hard you try. If this model is wrong, you won't manifest properly. The problem is that your brain uses this model to predict the future. Neuroscience thinks that our brains are a prediction machine. Basically, we live because we predict. We don't know how reality is, so we simplify it and we create a model of reality, and then we use all this info to predict the future. From your predictions, your brain designs your actions, and these actions bring you outcomes that reinforce or update the model. Now, here's the thing. This model is not one single thing. It creates two big perceptions of reality, and there is one that is ruining all your manifestations. Your model of reality can be divided into two big groups. One of them is your identity, and the other one is a model of your environment. Remember, you have a model of reality that can be divided into two models. One model is your identity, and the other model is your environment. What's your identity? Your identity is a model of yourself. It's like your personality. It's who you think you are. Now, here's the thing. You are not your personality. You're not who you think you are. You just use this information on a daily basis to design your behavior and be successful. Because think about this. If you had to design a personality from scratch every day, that would be exhausting. You wouldn't have the required energy to do that. Imagine you just, one day you wake up and you are a funny person who is confident, and the next day you have to design a new personality and you are a completely new, different person. That's nonsense. I mean, no one would do that because it's impossible. You cannot form a personality in one single day. And the other model is a model of your environment. So this matters a lot as well because it contains basically what you think about the people around you, what you think about the people in the world, what you think about the money, what you think about, the market or the politics, whatever you think about reality is contained in this model. Now that we know this, the question is not how to manifest harder or how to visualize harder. The question is how to update this model, change your identity, and change who you are. We are going to focus on your identity and your predictions. And if you want to change and update this model of reality, the first step is awareness. You will have to become aware of the existence of this model in the background of your mind. And when I say background, I mean your unconscious mind. And also, you will have to become aware of your thoughts. Now, stay with me here. This model of reality, which is constituted by memories and beliefs, states that you can use this info to predict the future. So if you failed in the past, if you think you are undisciplined, if you think you are shy, you can predict that you will be that kind of person in the future. Now that's a big mistake. But how do you become aware of your predictions? Well, let me tell you something. Almost all of your thoughts are predictions about the future. Just think about that for a minute. All your thoughts are trying to predict the future. And some of them are trying to analyze the past so you can fix the future. Now, the key here is stop analyzing, because analyzing is almost equal to overthinking in this specific context. If you're analyzing your thoughts, you are overthinking. And you are procrastinating, probably. And you are not manifesting. You have to become the observer of your thoughts. You have to get separated from that ego that tells you that you are that. Because the problem is that the mind is wired to believe in the thoughts automatically. So every time a thought pops up in your mind, no matter if it's positive or negative, your brain, your conscious mind, you consciously, automatically believes in it. And that's a huge problem. Because thoughts are not true or false. Thoughts just come from this model of reality, which is not true or false. I mean, it's not wrong or right. It's not that those who think of themselves that they are disciplined are correct. I mean, it's not a truth or a falsehood. It's just a model of reality. It's a tool you use to design your behavior quickly and spend low amounts of energy. If there is no system that it's true or false, then you can just select thoughts by will. You can believe in the thoughts you want. So here's the key. Every time a thought pops up in your mind that is negative, that brings negative emotions attached to it, you don't suppress the thought. You don't ignore or avoid the thought, because that's not going to work. That will make the thought grow and create pressure inside your mind until it explodes. But observe the thought. And when you observe and contemplate the thought, you understand that you are not that, and that that's not true or false. That's just a prediction that came from your model of reality, which is not so accurate about reality, because Your memories and beliefs are small in comparison to the size of reality, which is infinite. Now, on the other hand, when you do that, you can now select thoughts as true by will. So this is when you can visualize. Visualization is basically creating a prediction basing on your will and not on your model of reality. So visualization is basically replacing this prediction with a new prediction that you created basing on your wishes and, positive thoughts or whatever. So what you want to do is tell your brain your prediction of the prediction system, which is this system, is not true anymore. That's just a prediction you made. But I will put this new prediction here, which tells me that I will be extremely successful. What happens here is magic. Well, it's not magic, but what happens here is really good. When you actually predict success and you become extremely confident about yourself, then you will work extremely hard to make it. No matter what project you are interested in, maybe you want to grow a business, maybe you have a personal brand, or you are an artist, or you want to do bodybuilding or whatever. If you replace your negative predictions with positive predictions over and over again, because awareness, you will have to be aware for a couple of weeks, maybe months, until that awareness updates the model completely so it becomes automatic. But when you replace negative predictions with positive predictions over and over again, and you just keep working, keep doing the things you have to do, your actions will match the person you want to be, and your outcomes will update the model. And your thoughts also will update the model. You don't need outcomes. You need to do this replacement of prediction with awareness over and over again until that updates the model. But your outcomes will also update the model. The next step is to embody the identity that you've always wanted to be. Once you have the skill to stay aware of your thoughts and don't believe in them automatically and select thoughts as true by will, you can actually change who you think you are. That's real manifestation. Because here we are not going to manifest like a Bugatti instantly or a $1 million business in 3 days. But what we can do is change who we think we are and act in a different way. And that different way will teach us the required skills to build a project, and then over time we will build the project. I mean, I know that when you listen to some people that say that you can manifest instantly or do these kind of things, and now you have to face reality and you have to understand that you will really have to work really hard to make it, and you will have to fail over and over again until you make it. Sounds a little bit demotivating, but it's the only way. And what I can help you with is changing who you think you are so you can start taking action as soon as possible. It doesn't take that long. No matter what your project is, it won't probably take more than 6 to 12 months to get the first results. So when I say embodiment, what I mean is literally believe that you are the kind of person that will be successful no matter what. And every time a thought pops up in your mind, which is negative and tell you that you will fail, you go back to step 1, awareness, and understand that thoughts are not true or false. Thoughts just are something that are out there in your mind and come from a model of reality that is not delusional or accurate. That's just a tool your brain built over time to design your behavior quickly. So, change the prediction and change your results. It's that easy. When you think you will be successful, you will be successful. Why? Because you will work so hard and you won't quit, and someday you will make it, because that's the rule. What we can guarantee is that hard work pays. And the third step is pretty easy. The third step is to take action from the new identity as soon as possible. So you become aware of your thoughts, you understand that they are not true or false. So now, negative thoughts, you contemplate them, you observe them, you don't avoid them, and you understand that they are not true. They're not true or false, but we are going to say that they are false. And then you select new thoughts that tell you that you will be extremely successful, that you are the most confident person ever, and you believe in them. When you get that skill, you can embody the new identity. And when you embody the new identity, you automatically try to take action as soon as possible from that new identity. So if you never worked for 5, 6, 7, then so if you never worked for 5, 6, 7 hours in a row, you go and do it now, if that's serving your purpose. If you never trained so hard to failure so you can build the body you've always wanted, you go and do it as soon as possible. That way, you will start reinforcing the new identity with real outcomes, with real memories. And when I say real, I mean experienced memories. This doesn't mean that you are lying to yourself. You could say you're lying to yourself if you want. You could say you are being delusional. You can say whatever you want. The only thing that matters is that it's the only way to change your model of reality. Because many people try to get the outcomes first. They try to get rich, or they try to make new friends, or get a body, like build their bodies, or be successful in whatever they want to be successful, and then become the new person. That will never work. What you have to do is change now. You have to shift your identity now. Shift into the identity that is successful. That ideal version of yourself that you've always visualized. Embody that version now. You are that person now. There is no separation between you and that person. And every thought that goes against that is just a lie. So I hope it helped. Thanks for watching. Stay aware.